So, from last video to now, told you guys we had gotten the motor in and whatnot. I'm not going to show you how I build my motors. It's kind of like my own little secret. What I do, what I don't do. So, that's why we kind of skipped ahead to where we're at now. So, number one, we got the motor in. It's fully built. Yes, it has a stock head, so let's say it's semi-built. I'm not going to say what it has. You can just imagine what it has. We're going to use the original fuel filter holder, or bracket, I should say, whatever you want to call it. That way we can still buy parts off the shelf, because I don't want to have too many custom things in here that I can't go to O'Reilly's and buy a part off the shelf that I need. So number one, fuel system is going to be pretty much almost the same. I kept the bracket. We are going to do banjo bolt to there. It's going to come to here. Instead of it going down, we're going to make it curve up and then into our rail. This is a D-series rail, which I turned into a high flow rail, which a lot of people don't know how to do, but it can be done. Also on top of that, we got a little bit of things painted, as you guys can see. You might be able to see it, you might not, so I'm not going to mention it. If you see it in person, you'll notice. If not, then oh well. We got our throttle bracket cable, or our throttle bracket that I made for our cable, which works perfectly, connected to our 3 cables to make 1 cable. But it works perfectly. I step on the gas, it's beauty. What else do we have? Oh, we got our alternator wire ran. We have a ground wire we still need to add some ends to. We have our hoses hooked up in a way, like, I mean, not all the hoses, because if I hook up my radiator hoses, I'm going to give away the color that I'm going to go with, the scheme, so I'm going to wait towards the end to do all that. It is not going to be a black car, I'll tell you that. I have 2 already. This one is not going to be black. So we got all that done. We got the hoses ran. We got new gaskets. Everything. We are not putting on the exhaust yet, because of the fact we are going turbo, so I'm waiting until the exhaust manifold gets here. We have a little bracket for all our cables made up. I mean, we're pretty much ready to go, guys. Like, I already hooked up a battery charger to where my battery is going to connect, so the battery is going to go right behind the passenger seat, and still need to get a battery box for it. But the battery is going to go right here. I've already hooked up a positive and a negative, and dash lights come on, my headlights come on, hazards come on. I can click the window, I can hear the regulator and everything. Well, not the regulator, but the box, that the window control unit, I can hear that clicking, so that's a good sign. I did not get any sparks or puffs of smoke or anything, so that's a really good sign, being as this fuse box had a whole bunch of wires that were burnt out the back that I had to relume and redo. Also, I pulled the ECU holder out of the Del Sol, and if you guys own a Del Sol, or you know that the ECU kind of sits in the passenger side by the foot panel, but it's tucked in. It's not like an EG one where it's kind of flat. So this one is kind of tucked in. So what I had to do is I drilled through the bottom of the car, put a bolt to hold it here, and then I added kind of like this screw or whatever rod you want to call it, drilled a hole, added there. I still need to put a nut on top for that one. I'm going to make another one from here to here just to make like this little tripod effect. But as it stands, it's super sturdy. It does not move around. That's where our ECU is going to go. Our plugs are right here, so that way when I'm tuning it, it's not just floating around and my cords getting smashed around, so that way everything has got enough space, as you guys can see. We did fix the fuse box holder, the little tab at the bottom right here. I did create my own little tab, so that's good to go. So the fuse box will still sit right here in the middle of the dash to plug up that hole. We have the back window plugs right here that'll run through our kind of firewall makeshift setup. To the people who think or who have commented and thought that this is my harness bar, you're fucking crazy. That's not my harness bar. That's just a part to attach the firewall to my makeshift firewall where my window is going to go. The harness bar is going to go where those screws are. I've already made a harness bar for my EG before. I know what I need to do again. That's where my harness bar is going to go. Also, I put the back bumper on here, and I did not like how that looked. So what we're going to do is, I think, we are going to take these off. That way it's nice and flat back here. And then for the exhaust, if I can get it to where it's not too funky as, like, weird ass fucking bends, you know what I mean? I want to try and get it to come out this way, either under and then through this part right here, through this part, which they'll come out about here. And I'm going to do a Y pipe so that way I can have one here, one there. So if I go the diffuser route, a friend told me that way it'd be a little bit easier for me to go if I wanted to add a diffuser, not to the back end. Also, guys, I did add extra supports, one there and one there. Reason being that one's a little bit off kilter is because you got to remember we are going to utilize this hole to suck air in for our turbo, so we don't want anything in the way of us when we run piping. Make it a lot easier on ourselves. So I mean, pretty much we're there. Let me give you guys a little bit, because a lot of you are probably like, well, how the fuck are you gonna shift? Well, I already got that all done. I got that all made up. So what I did is I ended up using the existing stabilizer bar. So this is the stabilizer part, the shifter's underneath. I cut this part off the bar. So I did not cut the bar right here. I cut the welds that hold it to the bar, so the bar was still intact. Then I took that, welded that in place up here, kind of where I wanted it, mocked it up, taped it up, got it everything where I wanted it, and then welded it. But I still utilized the rubber bushings that go here to kind of hold this piece up here. So we can put steel, not the steel, but you know, the solid bushings if we wanted to. But I also added this little, it was like this eye hook that comes down kind of for tying rope through. I cut one end off so it was kind of just like a C, and then that went perfectly over this part where the bar used to go in, and I welded it to give me support so this doesn't flop around or move at all, because it's welded here, and that was the only place it was welded at. So I added this, welded it all up, welded it, put it over here, and now it's super sturdy. And then what we did with the bar is we attached that bar to the original shifter, so that way it made it extra long. And I got it to where some of the bends, like, you know, there's bends in the shifter linkage, I had to sit down there and mock it up and put everything the way I wanted to, because as you guys remember, underneath this fuse box, those holes right there, this is kind of a dip, so it sits underneath, so kind of prevented everything. But here I'm going to go through, kind of shift it for you. So first, second, third, fourth, and then fifth's a little hard, right? But we still get it. So that's all good to go. Shifter's good to go. We have our, I don't know if you can see it up there, our master cylinder for our clutch. the line runs all the way down the side right here where the fuel lines run, and it's going to be attached right here with the there was like another piece. I'll show you guys in another video how I do it, but there's another piece from the Del Sol that I'm going to use where the two hard lines fit into, and then that way it kind of extends it, makes it where I want to go. We have our fuel lines kind of ran, ready to go as well. Just need to run my return line. We painted the head. We left the block alone. We put new bearings, rods, pistons, everything, all that good shit. We have our wires for our gauges ready to go up for the front, which our gauges will be in this metal piece right here, which eventually we will be painting the color of the scheme of the car. Now, pretty much that's it, guys. I mean, we've gotten a long way. Oh, we did make a fan, so we ended up using the original shroud, cutting it, and like putting the other fan inside of it, kind of, to make it a little bit more flush. Also, we have our radiator in. We have all our lines ran for our fuel stuff, overflow, everything. Only thing I need to do is the clutch line, the brake booster, and the lines for the radiator, and then the front is all done. So, I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. We are almost done with this. Hopefully next month you guys will hear this start, turn on, rev, and soon after that it'll be flying down the streets, guys, at the meets. You'll be able to check it out at the meets. Like, it's definitely going to be ready for import face-off. So, I mean, just hang in there. We're almost there, guys. And I mean, shit, man, this build has come out like when I build something and I'm surprised at the end, it means I did a really good fucking job, and I'm surprised. So also, oh, we ended up wiring up. We just grabbed the original switch for the back window, which eventually we'll pick out the wire, which one it is, and put it to a normal switch, but that way we can still wind down the back window. Everything's good to go. Fuses are in. I might need a relay there, but like I said, I mean, everything turns on, no smoke, so that's a very good sign. I still have like the door panels to make, carpet, and just little ass things, you know what I mean, guys? I did get I had to cut new or semi-new axles to get just the splines right here to hold my wheel bearing in place, which kind of sucked because they were good axles, which they're chilling right here. So, I mean, we're almost there, guys. Hang in there. Oh, we still have those parts. I think they're in the mail for our tie rods to connect this, and then once that's done, everything is done. It will be able to move on its own except for the axles, but, you know, that's coming in next month for sure. So stay tuned, guys, and we're almost there. Hang in there, and hopefully one day you guys get to see this in person, because it's way different what it looks like in person than on a video. So thanks, guys. Hang in there. Please subscribe and follow for more.